In the still of the night. I'll tell you what, I could sing it in the shower. My name is Hank Green. I'm 82 years old. Somewhat, I think romance is like steps. I think first you see someone, you want to get to know them. You want to, maybe you're thinking, I'd like to be with them. So you take that step. Maybe you ask them for a date, ask them to go to lunch, and then you go from there. But each step along the way, you develop a relationship. But it goes both ways. You need to be respectful of them. And I always said this, if you treat someone right, they will treat you right. And the ones that don't treat you right, those are the relationships that don't work. So I think when you talk to people that have been married 50 or 60 years, almost every single one of them will tell you that, yeah, they had tough times, they had ups and downs, but when you have a fight or an argument, you put it aside, try to confine it to that short time period. Don't drag it out and stew over it. It's best to try to go on and make it good. Yeah, first crush. Oh boy. I'm gonna say maybe 12. And a girl in my class, I took her to the movies, and a Saturday afternoon matinee. And movies at that time were 20 cents to go to the movie. And we went to the movie, and I tried to put my arm around her, and she didn't like it. And she told other kids in school, and so I got mad at her, and I didn't like her no more. Well, looking back from my own point of view to my parents, I think my parents' time, I think in the 40s and maybe the 50s when I was just young, they had the dancing was, they danced together. They had music, big band music. They danced a lot. They went to dances. Even when I remember in high school, we used to have dances maybe 2 or 3 a month at high school, and it was fun. You went there and you danced, you move around, and you slow dance together, which you actually held on to each other. That's romantic. Well, Marilyn Monroe, she was beautiful, and I mean, at the time, she was like the biggest star in Hollywood. Later on, Anne Margaret, I thought she was beautiful. Well, there used to be a show on TV called The Love Boat, and it was on every week, and it was a cruise ship, and these couples would come, and they would meet on the ship and then fall in love, and there were different characters on it. That was a good one. And then there was another one called Fantasy Island. It was similar, that you flew to an island, and usually the people, that was a fantasy, and when they left, they actually, sometimes they came there and they were fighting and they weren't getting along, but usually when they left, everything was good, they were happy. And some movies, a lot of the older movies I like, because they were more love story. The Titanic was a great love story. That was a good movie. Yeah, Earth Angel. And I saw you put the album cover up on that too. That was very good. Yeah, yeah, I loved Earth Angel. Uh, Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. That's a that's a real great romantic song. In the Still of the Night. That was a fantastic song. Well, a breakup is sometimes it can almost feel like somebody died, and so you're grieving. You have grief, and the first one of the first things that happens is you go into denial that it didn't happen, that it's going to be okay, that they're going to let you know, or they're going to call you, or they're going to come back. They're going to say they're sorry, and you're going to get back together. And then you have the realization that that's not going to happen, and you're depressed, and you can't sleep. So what I would say, the best advice is just let it go. Let those feelings be there, because there's no sense in it's going to happen. It's a period you have to go through, but just try to find something else to take the place of that time you were with them, or something else you could do to kind of take your mind off of it. Well, when I was younger, I think you developed with the person some common, where you had a common something in common, where you maybe you like the same music, or you like the same movies, something you like together, and then you would expand on that. As far as dating, you would maybe go to a movie, go roller skating. I remember back when I was young, you'd go skating. If you had a girl you knew, you'd meet her. She went skating, her parents took her there, your parents, or you got there and you met each other there and you skated together. That was a way to develop a good relationship. And back in my day too, they used to pass notes in school. They had the thing where you'd write down a note to someone, and then you'd pass it over to them and they would read the note. Today they have cell phones and text each other, so it's a little bit different there. Also today, I'm a little confused sometimes by today's things. It's like someone just, I don't know if you can say this here or not, but they meet someone and they just talk to them, and then the next thing they know, they're going to spend the night together. I just don't, I don't think that's the right way to go about it. I think you need to respect each other and do something special. Surprise them with something, the person you care about, and maybe take a little more time than to rush it into everything. People want to move in with each other after they met each other and they've known each other for a week, and they're going to move in. I mean, you're going to find out real quick that ain't going to be so good. Say you're sorry. Don't be afraid to say it. But when you say it, mean it, and show it. Show it by doing something. Do something special to show that you were wrong or you made a mistake, and you want to, don't think that you want to be the winner in an argument, like you're not going to give in even though you may be wrong. Don't push it. Just go on. Sometimes it's easier, even if you're right, just to say, no, you're right, and get over it and let it go. Well, over the course of my lifetime, I learned, as far as romance would go, if I knew back then what I know now as far as romance, I think I could have avoided some arguments. I could have avoided some hurtful things, saying things that hurt people. I think a word is like a sword sometime, or a spear, and you could say something and it hurts the person. You don't realize maybe when you said it, but they carry it with them. And I think if you could learn to think before you say things. Also, I would caution anyone, don't write to someone hurtful things that later you might be sorry for saying or that you wrote, because they have that and they can reread it, and each time they reread it, it hurts them again. Where if you say it to them, yeah, they'll pass away, go out of their mind, and if you apologize for it. But when you write it down and put it in a note or a letter, and they have it, they have it. I mean, it's history right there, and it can stay with them. Thank you for watching Shades of Yesterday. I recommend that you share this with your friends and family, and maybe some of the things that you've heard will strike a bell with you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Bye. Thank you so much. Ah, man, I messed up, I know.